All right. So more Lauren's got handy dandy printouts now because
Yeah.
superpowers, having printers at home. Uh, cool. So this is where I say hi. We're back. We're playing some more Necromancer, or The Thief and the Necromancer by D. Vincent Baker. Um, cool. So Lauren, it's on us to figure out what we want to do. Do you have a spawning circumstance that you want to do? Because if you don't, I need materials for my researches. Just say.
Hmm. Let's help you with research. I feel like I kind of owe you that to some extent.
Don't
Slash,
don't don't
like,
feel like you owe me that. It's just it's handy for me to grab it because then I can roll to see if I can research between sessions. So that's the thing. Um, we could also get attacked by the people that are chasing us because now we're in the city proper. That could be a fun little adventure if you want to
always
do
fun.
that. Um, anytime you let me choose the spawning circumstance, we're gonna end up delving into some crypts and doing some things like that. So I don't know. Is there anything in particular? I there's a great spawning circumstance in a different grimoire that I may borrow for next time, which includes going to a fancy party to try and rob a rich individual of a magical item. So if we want to
Ooh.
actually solve the cursed state of that district, we may be able to. But as it stands, I don't have a handy dandy spell that'll just banish things because that's not how necromancy works. At least not for my character yet. So what do you think? Do you want to get jumped by some meanies, or do you wanna look for ingredients, or we can also have like a slightly chill time. There's one that says tell your volunteers that you've come into some coin and you're in a flush time, so you've taken up a fine residence outside the city near some olive groves.
So I was gonna say, and that's just like Olive Garden.
Yeah, maybe
um,
another time. It feels like we're not quite in a flush time right now. We're in a bad time.
yeah, we'll
Uh,
save the Olive Garden for later.
yeah. Um,
Free breadsticks.
I was gonna say these breadsticks are so good.
No, I like the idea of like, so from my perspective as a thief, I kind of feel like the thief would like to help out the people who've come across, even though they tried to kill us, but
they're not people. They're ghosts.
they were people.
That doesn't count.
I don't think the thief. That's super interesting. I don't think the thief like really like,
They're
understands
plasmids.
that divide.
They're strange and fickle creatures. They're not exactly ghosts. Even they're remnants. They're echoes of what someone once was. The wizard in my head is more of a person than those things.
Oh.
It's true. I'm sorry, but it is true.
I feel like we're having this conversation over like a cheap meal in the inn, like to in like a quiet corner.
Is there a fancy inn opener? Hang on. Um,
Because I was gonna say like I'm super on board with like the idea of doing research and like doing a prompt to help people, but I think like the thief would be like, I would like to
we
do
could
this.
dive right into trouble if you like.
Oh yeah.
We've oh no wait, that's a performance. Hang on. Uh we could just we could do the next day. It says tell your volunteers that you've run out of coins in an unfamiliar city and that you've taken to a busy thoroughfare to perform. Uh Take the time to ask the questions to set the stage, then begin play by addressing yourself to a passerby. So, you could try to entertain some people for coins, and then we'll see where we go from there.
I'm so fascinated. um,
We could get jumped by four thugs coming after us. That's a thing that could happen. Or we could be minding our own business when we get attacked by dream swallowers. That's a thing. I don't know. What sounds
I,
fun, Lauren?
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you were okay, um hello. Is your character amenable to like a bit of street magic or like sort of
Sure.
putting on some zhuzh for a crowd? Okay, so like I think
Unfortunately,
like,
my magic is not terribly flashy yet. I can't do anything truly. Like I can't do like. Again, Ibestus actually has a spell for this. I'm a terrible wizard, which is to say, I'm very good at certain things and very bad at all other things. So, I am happy to act as somebody. Like, I feel like we've developed a little bit of a routine. Maybe we have a comedy routine. Maybe I distract someone or ask them questions while you pick their pocket, and we do this little like skit or something. So I'm willing to put on some zhuzh in that sense, but my wizardry is not actually flashy. I have there are spells in other books that allow you to like, create small illusions or like create a light and things like I can't do any of it. So yeah, I can see ghosts. If there were ghosts around them, I can talk to ghosts. Maybe I can be really quiet. That's the thing I can do. I can create words against ghosts or people. Yeah, so like it's unfortunately my magic is not very flashy. I can't like spread my hands and have like lights come out or anything like that. It's just not a thing that's in my repertoire yet.
No, it's totally fine. It's like from my Darren Brown knowledge, like it's not about like the actual magic. It's just the illusion of magic.
That's fine. I'm not above that. Yeah, I have no exertions for it, but if you want to do the heavy lifting on the rolls, I'm happy to be your assistant and or take part in doing a lot of the flash and the pizzazz and the talking while you do a lot of the heavy lifting, as it were.
Oh yeah, that sounds super great. I have two approaches. One is like the kind of like more snake oily, like I don't think I'm into that. But I could see like it being kind of like a doing, say, for example, the cup game, and like you're like, oh, I need to volunteer you, and like you come up and they're like,
okay, that I might be amenable to. I'm like, really, the cup game? Next you're gonna want to do get help. No, but yeah, I would totally. Yeah, I would totally be part of your con, I guess.
Or it could be a bit more like we can help you perceive like beyond the veil to speak to family folk if that's okay for you. So that can get a bit like icky if it's not exactly true. But you.
Oh no, it's not going to be true most of the time. People aren't surrounded by spirits. Well, actually, that's not true. I can use my magic to gain supernatural knowledge about people. That I can do.
Would you be interested in
nope,
doing
wait,
kind of
I
like
lied. No, I cannot do that yet. But I can see ghosts and spirits. That's the thing. I'm a terrible wizard. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, interesting. So I could see doing like a sort of cup game thing, like while we build up our expertise. Or I could see doing like we could perceive ghosts and like try and connect people to like their.
Yeah, just understand that about half of that is performance and or lies.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can just read a person empathetically, and then they would be like, "Oh my gosh, how did you know what I want?" And I'm like,
yeah. I guess I was trying to gauge like how willing are you to like.
I prefer not to, largely because I actually have some minor respect for the necromantic arts. So I would be much more amenable to actually doing like stage magic or entertaining a crowd and putting on a show than I am to actively trying to fleece people by being fake mediums. Largely because I'm like, that gives necromancers a bad rap. Like.
Also, I see this conversation playing out like over dinner or something, where it's like, hey, if I said like communing with deceased family members, what would you say? Okay, no, yeah.
Well, are they actually deceased down there? I mean, hospitals are not entirely common. Not everyone turns into a ghost, but was there a violent death? Maybe.
So yeah, I've been hearing more like stage magic, like my glamorous assistant, let me throw daggers at them, or
yes, okay, that's fine. I can make that work.
Or yeah, like sort of cup game antics.
Cool. So now that we know how we make spare money when we are not raiding tombs and stealing things, I believe. So we can ask questions about the city and the street, and then we have to start our circumstance by addressing ourselves or to a passerby. I'm sorry, I've got to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, that sounds like a good. I like that idea. Yeah, let's is like sort of street magic to pass this by.
So let me ask you some questions, Judd.
Yeah.
How big is Ruby?
Uh, it's a port city. I don't think it's huge. You know, I mean that it's most known for its its lighthouse. How big could it be? Uh, yeah, I don't think it's a huge sprawling city. I think it's yeah, big enough to get lost in, but not so big that it's, one of the biggest cities in the world or some kind of wonder.
So sorry, you've got a very chatty catty. Um, what kinds of what kind of people look like they might have a coin or two to spare here as we're about to perform on a street?
Yeah, I mean there are definitely like uh merchants on the wharf, here on the docks to see what has been brought in and what they can bid on.
Cool. So, do you want to try and put on a show for them, or how do you think this is gonna go?
Oh my god, I'm like so pumped because I read a book when I was a kid called The Wicked Adventures of Till Alley-Glass, and it's basically this character. So I'm
Okay.
keen to draw up that. But um, I think, trying to figure out what would be more lucrative, like being more of like a let's do some theatrical stuff and do some sort of like magics, or keep it more like sort of.
Do you have a trick? Because I don't have any moves for this.
I have some abilities that like let me hide stuff, which is like where I was like kind of going with
Yeah, no,
the sort of
that's all
cutscene.
magic is, like being able to like make things disappear from your hands, making it appear from places that it shouldn't. That 100% seems like exactly this.
Yeah, so I can filch, I can make things disappear and reappear and seemingly pass through other objects. So I could just do like a magic show of like it's over here, now it's here in your ear, like kind of thing. And we can see how that goes. I have to shoot
That's
disappear.
I mean that move sounds amazing, and you should totally use it. But I think the Necromancer's probably like you got to spice it up. So like
I'm all ears.
right. So my whole thing is about like asking him for a thing and then making a big show of letting them like sign it and things like that, and then like having like a steel box and then like putting the object in the box, handing it to them, but like then you have the object somewhere, and the Necromancer's like, "You're a thief. You're probably great at this." But I mean, part of being a wizard is of course like building up your reputation. So like the Necromancer has a lot more about like, no, you got to throw some magic words in there. Like at this point, you look at the box and you make hand motions like this, and you say the following, and so like, so most of my tips are like completely about like amping up the theatrics and a lot less about anything that actually requires sleight of hand because you're apparently really good at that.
Oh, that's so cute. It's just like a new vocation for you. Like you kind of like, oh, this is kind of like fun. Like I haven't like had a chance to do this before, or like, how do you feel about it?
I think I am delighted. So
Aw.
so do you want me to pick out a target for us to go after, or do you just want to pick one and then try to convince them that this is a good idea? I don't have
Haven't
any.
I?
There are no moves that I know of that actually
Oh.
sway someone's mind. So,
Yeah, maybe it's like sort of drawing up a crowd then, and kind of you're wearing some cool robes. Like maybe
oh, okay.
it could be a thing of like perhaps maybe you're put forward as like the wizarding sort who does this magic,
Oh, I
and
see.
then I'm the one actually doing it. I don't know.
I
How
see.
you
I
feeling?
see. So you'll be my assistant, but you're actually performing all the magic. Is that the plan?
I bet that could be the plan.
Okay,
That's kind of fun.
okay. I love it. I love it. Is there a like when you can you address yourself to a crowd? Because I don't know that I have any moves like that.
I can address myself to a crowd.
You're so useful. You should do the thing.
Yeah, like when we're not in scary, like nightmarish dreams, I'm really useful.
I'm just terrible all around. My moves are just bad. My numbers are bad. So
Yeah, I can definitely. I saw a move here for like sort of pulling people into.
oh,
Oh
I
yeah, a
actually
crowd from.
I saw something really cool in chat. So I think I know what my part of this is, which is
Ooh.
that it's about telling a story and it's about bringing the crowd into your story. And there's a thing that was suggested that I'm just outright stealing. Thank you, chat. Which is about I talk about how the spirit, like I come up with a story about the spirits helping us, right? So we have something that's like a box, and it's like supposed to be the box of spirits, but we just painted it blue and stuck some like stones and stuff on it, so it looks fancy. And then like we'll have the spirits, like take the thing and it'll appear in the box. But you're doing all the work. I'm just doing a lot of the you know I'll be scary looking with my fingers and making magical gestures and stuff like that. But yeah, you should address the crowd because I have no idea how to do any of this.
Yeah, I have a crowd from a throng, which is you can take an imposing posture and be super like charismatic to attract people to a spectacle. Does that sound like a
Yeah, let's
good
do it.
role to do? Yeah, totally.
Let's do a spectacle.
Whew. Okay, so for a
Hey,
throng
that's not too bad.
Wow.
4 or less, right? Also, you gotta look at how bad is it if you whiff.
um. Oh, it'll get ugly. that's an episode I missed. It gets pretty ugly.
Well, 2/3 chance of good stuff, 1/3 chance of ugly. Let's see it go.
Let's see how it goes. Roll 1d6. I got a
That's a hit.
2. That's
4 or
must be a
less,
hit.
right? That's a hit. So, tell us what happens on a hit.
So on a hit, I think it's my first like hit of the game. My gosh. On a hit, I draw an audience, ask the volunteer how many they number, and tell them that it should be proportionate to your roll. So on a that's a 2.
It's not the best
and,
hit, but it's not the worst.
Okay. So like you get like a dozen people. I think you like bleed off some people from the Snake Charmer.
Okay.
Who's super popular, and yeah, they come over and watch. What do you feel like is the trick that where you could feel you had like you started to have them? Like what was it?
It's part of the story, right? Like what part of the story like really pulls people in?
I think we pick a kid out of the crowd, and we convince the kid that there's a magic knife, and if they stab a ghost or something with it, like a ghost stole the money, and like if they stab him with it, like the money will return. And Lauren, you better figure out what your role for Filch is here fast, because I'm just building story. I got no roles here.
Okay.
But I think there's probably like, I don't know, like a big wooden cutout or a box. Like, I like boxes. I just like boxes for magic, right? So we're doing like a not a sarcophagus. What's it called? Like a coffin. And when the kid stabs it with the knife, like little red streamers come out, and everyone's like. And then we open it up, and whatever object it was that could have possibly gotten in there is gonna get in there, or whatever. So Lauren, how's your filch?
Good question. I got 20 pages now. It should be Let me see.
I mean, filch is just something you can do, right? Like you can do this thing.
Well,
Yeah.
technically, she has to roll because it's done with discipline, and then it's
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Oh, it's discipline. Okay.
I think so, right? Because all of your tricks are discipline, right?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, it's nimble plus patient. Yeah, so my nimble's 3, so I need to roll it under a 3, right? For
3 or less.
or 3 less. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll whack that into roll 20.
That's a
Oh, I
1.
got a 1. That's
What happens on a
not-
hit?
So on a hit, I tell the volunteer that I do in fact accomplish it, and then ask them any remaining questions I have about my audience's reaction. In addition, choose at least one of the following, up to as many as your roll. So I guess 2.
You have to pick them, but you can pick them. You have to pick them in your head.
Oh, okay.
You can reveal your choices if pressed or to boast if you choose, but you should only have to pick them in your head.
Okay.
So I'm not sure I understand.
So there's a whole list of how magic is actually done in the real world. The way the trick works is you roll to hit and you say the trick works. So everyone actually sees the coin disappear from someone's hand and then appear inside this metal box. But
Yeah.
how it's actually done is there's a bunch of options and you have to pick them. And then either you're really excited, you just want to tell everyone, so you tell them how you did it, or you can just be like, it was magic. And then,
Right.
but the
Oh, that's
roll
really
actually
cool.
determines whether it worked or not, right? Because I think on a miss, you may not be able to do it, or you risk it, but you tell them kind of what you have, and it might go wrong. So
Oh, interesting.
Fantastic.
So the people start asking like, "Hey, wait a minute, how did you do that?"
Yeah.
they may or may not. It's so the way this move works is the player knows how the trick is done. The GM and the volunteers and the other player do not, and the player may choose to tell us or not. It's
Okay.
but it has to
Okay.
be picked so that, like, in case it is important, it comes up.
That's
Okay,
so
got it, got it,
cute.
got it. Okay, yeah,
I,
yeah.
I
But
love it. Yeah.
they don't ask. They ooh and ah. And I guess what's the end goal for you guys? Like, do you have a hat out? Do you have a
Absolutely.
bowl?
Oh yeah, there's like for sure a hat out. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And we put our last remaining coins in it to seed it.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, totally.
And then yeah. So maybe there's even a like we choose the coin from this. Who put this coin in? Oh, thank you so much. Well, I guess you get to be the volunteer. Oh, I see you
Right.
have a fancy son there. What's your name, kid? Oh, Bayan. Wow. Everybody, give it up for Bayan the Ghost Slayer.
Totally.
Right. Right.
Almost like I've done this before. So
I
yeah.
love it. I did
So-
pick my two for reference, but yeah.
I think it's super. I'm sorry. What was that?
Oh, I did end up I picked my two.
Okay.
Just for the record. But continue.
So I think that's part of the shtick is the audience has to pay in to have a chance to participate in the trick.
Cool.
So
Oh,
yeah.
super cool.
Oh, I see, I see, I see. Yeah, 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 yeah. That's pretty neat. Um, cool.
If you so this is an example of something. So we rolled, we got a couple of successes. The audience seems to be happy. We have a couple
Yeah.
of coin. We can just call it here and jump into another spawning circumstance. It's sometimes okay to just be like, this seems like a good, like, yay, you did a street performance, good job. Now what happens?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, do we want to do that? Do we want to just do something else, or do you have an idea for something else that might happen, the Judd?
I mean, I don't know. Does something weird happen? Like you look in the bowl and there are some ossuary coins that
Oh,
are
that's-
usually
that's-
only used for the dead to pay the rivermen.
Yeah, that sounds super fun.
Cool. Yeah. I think like the bowl is filling up, and when you look in there, yeah, either someone put in ossuary coins or yeah, there's a plasmid entity in the audience that you haven't noticed yet.
That's amazing. I love it.
I'm
Just like
okay.
seeing-
I love
yeah,
ossuary coins. I mean,
Does the scene end with like us picking up one of those coins and then like showing it to the camera, and then that's like the like scene fade?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something that most people wouldn't do that, right? It's kind of disrespectful. Yeah.
cool. All right. So do we want to? So let me ask you, Lauren. Do we want to jump into a scene where somebody catches up to us and that's like the mark of an assassin, or do we want to spend the night in a graveyard? Because we can do that. That's fun.
That does sound fun.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, there are two ways to spend a night in a graveyard. Tell the volunteers that the Necromancer studies require certain precious adjuncts used in funerary rites. So in order for me to continue my studies, I need oil of Ascender. So like, we could go to sleep in a graveyard and try to steal some of that stuff. Or there's one that's Tell your volunteers that you're bothering no one and attending strictly to your own business, the thief keeping watch, the necromancer intent, in the courtyard of tombs late at night, when you are set upon unprovoked by a dream swallower.
Oh shoot. Well,
They
I
both
think
sound fun.
they both sound fun. I think I have one question, which is like, having just come from this kind of harrowing dream experience, what would motivate the necromancer to feel comfortable spending a night in a graveyard? Is this like to sort of figure out more what's going on here, or is it like...
I think that okay. So when I was a kid, I remember my dad actually talking to me about this. But graveyards are some of the safest places to spend the night because the day ain't gonna bother you for the most part. Usually, you need like cursed ground or something like a particularly bad thing happening, and I feel like the necromancer's like, I can set up mystic locks around us. It's fine. Like we can find like a tomb and we can lock it magically and both of us can have a nice restful night and no one's gonna bother us. Like everybody else has to pay for like rooms at the inn. People can catch up to them. There can be all sorts of problems, but that's probably where we stay on the road, is like random graveyards. That's not unheard of. And also I definitely need stuff from them. I'm not even joking. Like you have to understand, in order for me to actually stop being a useless necromancer, I do need stuff. And the stuff that I need right now, I circled it, is minims, 2 minims oil of Asander, which is a fragrant embalming oil. And I must acquire it in play. I can't just say that I have it. I need someone's casket, a winding shroud, a funerary urn used but emptied. Or I need blood from any person not me. So, graveyards are places to find most of these things. Less the blood.
Yeah.
But,
I'm not going to judge. Like, I shop at a supermarket, you shop in a graveyard, and that's
I do. So I think that it's just, I don't know, my magic's been failing me, and I feel like I have not had time to improve my studies, so I do not know the tricks that could bail us out of troubles. And we've risked a lot and had to, like, take wild paths that we wouldn't usually. So, I feel like maybe I'm just like, I need to further my studies. Maybe we go there. But also, I'm like, look, these are the coins that you use to pay the dead spirits with. Somebody has clearly either looted the ossuary or is telling us that we're supposed to meet them there. And so I feel like maybe we go there and see what they want or what's up. And if it's a trap, I feel like we just run real fast. And if it's not a trap, we might end up with either an ally or a problem to solve or whatever. How do you feel about that?
I mean, it sounds great. It uses both of our skills, necromancy and running away. So what could go wrong?
Amazing. All right. So, dear volunteer, there's yes, the necromancer studies require certain precious adjuncts used in well, actually, I don't know. We wouldn't use the one with the dream swallower because we're not just minding our own business, we're actively looking. We could go delving for the substances, but I feel like maybe it's not. If we're curious about the coins, maybe we choose this one. Our nighttime excursions have brought us to a ruin outside the city, which is where these particular ossuary coins come from. So maybe the ossuary is in a ruin. And we encounter a ghoul, or perhaps a starving ghost, or perhaps some other kind of nightmare creature. Then we ask some questions of our volunteers, and then we begin play by deciding what to do. So, does that sound fun, Lauren? Do we want to try to bypass some ghouls?
It sounds delightful.
So volunteer, what the ghouls look like?
I think they look like thin humans. I'm going to steal something I just put in a game with my ghouls. They look like regular humans. They're a little bit skinny. You can kind of see their bones a little bit more through their flesh. And something about the ghoul rights gives them metal teeth and metal fingernails.
Dope.
Very cool.
As a necromancer, do I know what can harm ghouls?
Yes. I wish I had another volunteer to tell me what could harm ghouls.
You
I
can
will
just
go
put
to
it in
chat.
chat, and we can
Yeah,
we can ask a different question.
What can harm ghouls?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good. Uh, okay. So one of the things that I want to ask is, I believe that most like graveyards, particularly graveyards that are designed to like keep bodies out of cities and protect them from curses and stuff like that, should have attendants. What happened to the attendants here? Do we know, or do we not know?
Um, I think ghouls aren't necessarily. They're definitely like not welcomed in the city, but I think on the outskirts are fine. And I think the ghouls are the attendants.
Okay, so I'm sorry. When you say ghoul, I think of a slavering beast that eats the flesh of the dead. But what you're
Okay.
saying is that the ghouls here in this world are actually the attendants of the dead. They're
Yeah.
created to guard and protect and attend to the bodies, and in return, they get nibbles occasionally or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Wow, disturbing. Okay, I like it.
Or at least that's how Ruby deals with it.
Okay, this city, we gotta leave this city. Great. That's amazing. Yeah, hooray. So, how for lack of a better term, how conscious are ghouls? Are they like people, or are they like hound level intelligence, or like what's their
I think they're.
thing?
I think they're people.
Okay,
I think they're people.
great, great. We've got metal nailed and metal toothed people protecting protecting. Oh, okay, cool. So
Sounds like my ex quip from the thief.
let's okay, so clearly someone is selling coins. So we could come with two approaches here, dear thief friend. So Morgan, we could sneak into the tomb and figure out what's going on ourselves, or we could attempt to talk to them. But if we attempt to talk to them, then trying to get back in is going to be way harder, I imagine, because they'll be on alert and know that there are people around and whatnot. So how do you wish to approach this?
Yeah, well, I think like we may have a better chance sneaking in, yeah, without talking to them. So, some of the sneaking in stuff is like, are they looking out for you and that kind of thing. So maybe it's a case of like sneak in and then ask forgiveness if it goes wrong.
How
I don't
good
know.
are you at sneaking? Let's just figure that
listen,
out.
How good am I at sneaking? Let's
Yeah.
see. Sneaking is with discipline. It says passing someone by again.
So
Discipline's with a nimble, which is 3. I think I'll check my stats. 1, 2. Yeah, that's I need a 3 or less.
So it's 50-50, depending on
Yeah.
questions. Okay. I do have a way of sneaking on my own. Mine is slightly better, but not great. Okay. So
Well, I guess do you feel comfortable going in alone and then?
No, I'm not gonna go in alone. We're gonna go in together or not at all. So like,
Okay.
do you have a trick? Can you filch us some attendant robes?
Oh, good question. Maybe. I could totally filch that. I think that'd be another 3. Like that'd be a 50-50.
I believe in you. I mean, you know what? Listen, we can't just roll the stuff that we're really good at and just expect successes. Sometimes you got to take a few. What is it?
Talk shit, roll crit.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so I can totally like try and steal some like stuff to make us appear like we fit in, or I could sneak us by. Both are 50-50.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
You're the thief. I'm better at becoming unheard, but we can save that for exits or things like that.
Fantastic. I was double checking the list of stuff on Phil just to see if it made sense. Yeah, I think should we try and steal some robes and try and fit in that way? Does that sound fun to you, Josh?
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, I love the idea that we're going to be dressed as attendants when everything goes down wrong. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
We don't have metal teeth and nails. Let's go!
Yeah, so I guess to the volunteer, like we could want to acquire some stuff to look like attendants.
I think I mean there are families whose dynasties have fallen apart, but their tomb houses still exist, and that's where the ghouls live. Once the city like can't find any members of that family, then like it's turned over to the ghouls. And so yeah, you could like take it off of their laundry lines.
Oh, fun!
That's easy enough.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
I don't know that we need to roll for that. We can just steal something from a laundry line that's unattended, right, Judd?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't need a roll for that.
Oh, nice. Oh, it's totally like between the ruby like rotation, so it's like it does a rotation. It's like okay, go because like
the actual like lighthouse red
yeah,
light.
like
Grab it. It's like
Yeah.
red light, green light, but it's red light, no light. So yeah, okay,
yeah, totally.
cool. So do we? Are we dressed in robes and now we're gonna try and pass as attendants and just sort of like walk past them and look inside the tombs? Is that the plan?
Yeah, which means like I could roll like passing someone by because now we have stuff to look more like
Yeah, let's do it.
less conspicuous. Cool.
Ask your questions of the volunteer.
So yeah, let's see. Are they watching for me in specific?
No.
Are they watching with disciplined vigilance and all their senses attuned?
Yeah, they probably are.
Cool. Are they turning people away or not just watching people pass?
No, I think they're mourners, so I don't think they turn away everyone.
Oh. Must I hurry?
Nope.
Cool. I take a temporary -1, which means we need a 2.
Roll some dice.
Okay.
Roll some dice. Okay, let's do it. I'll go to roll 20. Write down 1d6. I got a 4.
Nope. So what happens on a miss?
So on a miss, we get to choose. Tell the volunteers that you realize at once that you won't be able to get past them. Tell them what you do instead. Or tell your volunteers that you have to risk it and they notice you. Ask them what they do. Do you have a preference, my dear Necromancer?
We risk it and ask our volunteers what happens.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Judd, I think how do we know that it wouldn't be easy to get past them? Is there something that they do with each other or at each other that we're worried we are not going to be able to mimic?
Secret handshake kind of deal.
Yeah, I think like their body temperature is much colder.
Oh, cool.
They're much cooler to the touch.
Oh.
They're not dead, but they're deadish.
They're dead-ish. All right, I love it.
Deadish. Mostly dead.
Mostly dead, yes. Cool. You know what? We just try it, and if we and then we see what they do. Yeah.
Oh, so you get caught? Is that what the dice are telling us?
No, it says that we try it, but we have no guarantees. If the dice land a hit, we just tell the volunteers, hey, yeah, it's all good, and we get past them. But in this case, they may notice that our body temperature is high, and then we ask you, what do they do? And then we'll react to that.
Yeah, like, oh, you're pretty hot for like attendance. Not in that way, but like temperature wise kind of thing. Like
Right. Yeah. Okay, so what are you doing? What does it look like?
Yeah, let's describe it. Do we like sort of hoods down,
Yep.
kind of like prayer hands
Yep.
into yeah.
And we are trying to get to the tombs and stuff uninterrupted, and periodically, if one of them crosses our path, we do the... Lauren, you do the hand signs way better than I do. Do your little, like, mudra there.
Like the
Yeah. I'm doing the Naruto hand signs, right? Go on.
Yeah, I think if anything, like I think there aren't a lot of people around right now. This isn't like a, a festival time or a time when people honor their ancestors. So there aren't a lot of people around, and so I think the ghouls you see are kind of pretty lax, and if anything, you almost seem like too penitent and serious. Like I think there are a couple who are like cleaning up this one old grave site that just has a tree planted on it that drops a lot of leaves, and they're like raking up the leaves and chatting and and passing a pipe back and forth, and yeah, and it's just
The chillest
very
ghouls I've ever seen. Go on.
it's
So
just
so
yeah,
good.
it's very lackadaisical. It's much more uh I don't know, like yeah, you all walking by with like this very somber mood kind of like makes them chuckle. Uh yeah, I think you hear them say something like don't take life so seriously or death. But they don't stop you.
Okay. Cool.
I probably like whisper to like through my prayer hands like what should I laugh? Like what should we do?
Uh,
Maybe we just carry
I
on.
think I think I put a hand on your shoulder and I say, I have trained for this, and I go, we only take undeath seriously, and just bad necromancer jokes. Gonna win them over every time. No, they won't.
That's
Nice.
good.
Uh,
Nice.
cool. So Judd, if they don't stop us, well, actually, so we are ostensibly here to investigate those ossuary coins and or procure some of that embalming fluid. Is this
Yeah.
a? Is this a? I feel. Oh, wait, I have an exertion for this. I'm doing a thing. Ha
Do
ha!
it.
I'm
Do the
exerting
thing.
myself mentally. I need a 4 or less. Yep, I have exactly 2 questions. This is perfect because I just need. I only need 2 questions. The first question is. Hang on. I actually labeled my pages now. Haha. Necro exertions. Perfect. Mentally. I am looking for. So my first question is I am looking for the oil that I need. Where should I start?
You would want to start at a grave where a
It's
body has just
embalming oil,
been.
just so that you know.
Yeah, you'd want to start at a grave where a body has recently been interred.
Great. I see one, I assume?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
fantastic. And the next question that I have is I'm looking for any sign of where those coins were taken from or who might be stealing those coins. Where would I start looking for something like that?
Cool. Uh, yeah, you would have to kind of start a conversation with a ghoul, I
Oh,
think.
no.
To
That's gonna end poorly because we're dressed like ghouls and we don't have metal fingernails.
yes,
You know what? Maybe if we tuck our hands inside sleeves and
Oh
okay.
yeah. And let's talk like this, like or yeah.
Do you have like ways of lying? Because I don't really.
Yeah, I can diffuse the situation with common grace.
Oh no, wait. Actually, I can exert myself. No, actually, he answered that question. Diffusing a situation with calming grace. I'm sorry. What? Which? That sounds like de-escalation rather than lies. Is it lies?
Let's. Yeah, that sounds more like it's like show my hands to show I'm not armed, like talk to them patiently, slowly back away. So that yeah, that's like a de-escalation. But do I have a line? I can. No, all my sleights are very physical, so it's like disguise, stealing things, engaging a crowd for a performance, and like falling and leaping.
Yeah, Jed. I don't know that there is. Well, I mean, we could just strike up a conversation with these ghouls, but I don't know. Uh, I don't know that there's any rules there. I think we just talk to them, and then if they get weird, they get weird.
Yeah.
Before we started a conversation with ghouls, how dangerous is it to try and pull some of this embalming fluid out of this grave, the Judd?
Um,
I do have a role for trying to do something unnoticed or unremarked. So.
Yeah, I think we need to make a roll on that.
All right, great.
I think if the ghouls noticed, there would be trouble.
It's the same. It's 4 or less. I'm actually going to cast a spell here, which is the same spell that I've used before to make myself unseen and unheard. So I'm gonna use my spirit tutor to conceal all the sound to take it away. So 3, I actually do it. It's as if I had rolled subtly. On a hit, I get a number of chances equal to my roll. So, okay. I can act casual. I'm in no hurry. Do you think I would raise their suspicions if I hover around the graves and just like picked it up when, at some point in a little bit?
No, I don't think so at all.
Okay. Well, good. Then I don't have to spend more of my chances. Cool. So I do that. So I acquire some of I acquire some oil of Asander. Sweet. How much of it do you think that I get? Is it like a fair amount, or is it like a bottle full?
Probably
like a small bottle.
Yeah, like enough to treat one body. So like,
yeah, I'm not 100% sure. It's very vague.
Me neither.
He says you need 2 minims. So I'm gonna guess that a minim is very little. So what you're saying is that I've got enough to do like one set of studies here is what I'm, or yes. maybe a couple of sets of studies because I need 2 minims. Sure. So, all right. Well, I rolled a 3, so maybe I get 3 charges. Does that sound good? Because we can use the die and success factor. Maybe that's the thing.
Sure. You get 3 minims.
Great. Is there any other place I can get more? Because I would want at least 6.
Interesting. So you got this from I think like the family crypts are like in like a set up like a circle, and in the middle is like a mourning area and a wake area, and also where they prep the body, and that's where you got like the first bottle or your first 3 minims. Yeah, I think if you went around, like, this was the only recent death, so you'd either have to come back on a different day, or you would have to go to the main ghoul temple and like go to the source.
Picking the locks.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if that's a filch situation.
It might be.
Yeah, I can lift escape knots, lift jewelry, do stuff like noticing, damage, destroy, repair, restore things. Oh yeah, that I think filch might work. Like both for on a hit and a miss.
Okay, so Judd, looking at the main ghoul temple, being a necromancer who knows tombs and temples and places of burial, do I have an idea of where they would keep their embalming supplies?
Oh, totally, you do. Yeah.
Great. Shall we attempt to sneak over there?
Yeah.
Great. The thief. Let's try this thing that you are not amazing at, which is the hiding. Let's try and be sneaky again.
Okay, so this is possible to win by again for.
I believe so. Great. Well, the other option we can have is we could try and like climb the walls or look for a rear entrance. Jed, is there? Actually, yeah. I have an exertion for this. Boop. Yeah, I actually have multiple. Cat. I have multiple questions. So, no, hang on. Sorry.
Oh.
Yes, I love you so much. Please stop eating the papers. I am looking for a rear entrance into the tomb area. Where should I start? It can be through a catacomb. It can be by climbing a floor. It can be any number of things.
Yeah, I don't think there are really catacombs here. I think we're in kind of a swampy area.
Okay, good.
I think it's going to be climbing, like climbing your way over walls, like from one family plot to another.
All right, great. I believe that's just physical exertion, right?
Sounds like it.
And I believe you have acrobatics, the Lauren, in case you need them.
Yes, I do. I can leap and jump and stuff.
All right, my physical exertion's actually 50-50. All right, I'm gonna risk my dice. Here we go, Jed. I still have 2 questions left on my mentals in case I need them. No, I whiff it by 1. It's close.
Oh.
So on a miss, choose one that you are and one that you definitely aren't. So I think my footing is good enough, but I think that I am not quick enough. So I think that I can make the jumps. I just can't parkour my way into there, maybe without being noticed. How does that sound, volunteer?
Yeah. So like you get caught is what we're saying?
Spotted?
Okay.
Caught is different, right? Because like that implies that people are chasing me. That's I suggest that that's another role. We were not being chased in the first place.
Right.
So
yeah, I think the ghouls.
it says tell this to the volunteer. So actually, I don't have an answer for you. On a miss, I tell you what I am. I tell you that I'm sure-footed enough to actually make the jumps, but I am not quick enough. And then I ask you how it goes, and you can say whatever.
Yeah, I think an elder ghoul thinks that you're like a couple of acolyte ghouls being mischievous, and so yeah, you hear him say like, "You two, get back here."
Do we both? What's the plan?
My instinct is to bolt, but I can de-escalate if needed. So we could do either way.
I mean, how good are you at de-escalation? Let me ask that, because if I find out that's a 2, bolting it is.
That's a 50-50.
That's a 50-50. Well, I mean, let's embrace our failures. When this person yells for us to go, is it calling?
Oh, sorry, that's a 2. Yeah, like I'm a 2 on grace and talking to people.
Do you think we could shiv this ghoul? I don't want to hurt them. They're just doing their jobs.
They are.
They only nibble corpses a little as a treat.
Damn it, Judd, why didn't you make your ghouls more monstrous? It's so terrible.
I mean, I was expecting them to be. They're supposed to be nightmarish, but I mean, they're kind of nightmarish. So I don't know that you're doing anything wrong here.
Okay.
Great, Lauren.
But if we bolt, I'm a 3 on bolting. I think. Yeah.
No good. You know what, Judd? I think I'm gonna bolt.
Cool.
So I'm gonna roll my boltiness here, and Lauren, you may want to roll your boltiness. And oh yeah, I fail. So you know what?
Should I roll mine too to see in what state we're both in?
Okay, so we were both spotted. Judd said that it caught both of us because the person said you too. So yeah, I'm afraid you're probably gonna have to do the same. But Judd, I'm gonna tell you that I am quick enough, but I do not have the endurance for a serious chase, and I get to ask you how that shakes out.
Yeah,
So.
I think it shakes out with you like on the ground, wheezing, and these ghouls with like the endurance of the dead catching you, and you're like this cemetery just goes on forever, and there's so many walls, and it just. Yeah, I think
I feel like okay. So what you're saying is that we led them away from the temple. Is that correct?
Sure.
Okay, great. Lauren, you should make your roll. We'll see if you win.
See if I can. Yeah, we can split up and take advantage of the distraction you've created. Okay. So for leap into fight a fall, which I think sounds appropriate for what we're doing, right? For like.
You might end up in the temple. You might be able to steal his oil. You should try it.
I might do a thing. Holy shit.
So we split up and he came after me? Yeah, that can happen.
So I have to describe my intended course, which is to get to like into the temple, to the volunteer, and then I ask the volunteer to choose one of the following. Dramatic as it seems, it'll be safe and easy for an acrobat like me. It's possible, but it'll test my strength, balance, and or endurance, and I might fall, fail, or strand myself. Or it's impossible, no human creature can do it.
It's possible, but it'll test your balance a little bit. Yeah.
Cool. So that means I have to roll. So if it's the second case, which it is, on a hit, I can choose as many as I like. On my roll, on a miss, stuff happens. So I'll roll my d6. It's a 50-50. 1d6. I got a 5. So that's a miss on a miss. Choose. Tell the volunteers that you realize at once that you won't be able to do it and tell them what you do instead. Or tell the volunteers that you have to risk it and choose one, but also choose one that you definitely can't or definitely don't have. Ask your volunteers if it's enough anyway or what happens otherwise. I think we're gonna do it. This is what we came here to do.
All right.
I gotta push through, I think.
Yeah.
I think I can. Ooh. I think I can leap quickly enough, light enough, and far enough to get there. But I can't catch. I can't land in a safe roll and spring to my feet. So I stumble.
Okay.
So this is a jump through a window and you land where you land kind of situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. Like, I'm not sure how high it goes down. Who knows with tombs? They have like sort of floors that are built into the ground. So maybe it's like a 2-3 story drop. I don't know. But I have to get there.
Right. So what do you need from me? I'm confused.
Oh, sorry. I need from you. Oh, if that's enough.
Is that enough? Is it enough that she can jump far enough, or but she can't, guarantee a good landing? Is that enough to get in and get away?
It's either that or what happens otherwise. So it's like that's your choice. Is like, is it enough or not? And if that doesn't feel right to you, you can just say what happens otherwise.
I think it's fine. I think you jump through, and you land in some kind of laundry room.
Oh, good. That I was like grabbing at a fee or something as I was
Yeah, you land on the second floor, and it's some sort of like laundry room where they like dye the robes black, and the smell of the dye is really thick in the air, and you know that the oil that you're looking for has got to be around where the bodies are. And I don't think it takes you long to figure it out.
Also, yeah, I'll like go in drawers and stuff and like look in cabinets through the glass and
yeah. I think like you have like a weird moment where you're in a room and you find it, and someone walks in, and a ghoul walks in, and he says, dinner's not till midnight. Come on, get out of here.
And I think
you
like
might be able to filch it.
Yeah, I might try and filch it. Is this like a thing I have to filch to steal without notice?
Totally.
Yeah, totally. So I'll totally try and like pocket it, and sort of be a bit like, oh yes, I'm so sorry, or like, and just be kind of like accommodating and humble about it. So I think that's also a 50-50. So I'll roll a d6 and we'll see what happens. Roll 26. After like in any other game, I'd be like, heck yeah, I rolled 4 6s, and not today. So
pick one.
Yeah. I have to risk it. So I'll choose one from the list and I'll ask the volunteer if anyone catches me or knows the trick, and if so, what they do. So I think, I think I'll take like I've been practicing making this quick since I was a child. I think like stealing stuff is like a thing you just do as a kid, especially in our family. Like it's kind of a like when you get super bored at a really adult like dinner party, and the kids are like, "Oh, I bet I can steal that from so and so," or like, I bet I can like put a kick me sticker on the back of like Uncle Randolph's like jacket or something. I think it's like just a game that you play as like when you're kids. So yeah, I can do it quickly since I was a child, and I ask the volunteer if anyone catches me, knows the trick, and if so, what they do.
No, I don't think he knows the trick. I mean, I think, yeah. But so you do it? I'm not sure I understand. I thought you didn't do it.
I'm.
So the way the trick works is you usually pick one or two things, and then if you miss, you say, "I'm going to try and do it anyway, but I can't do this one thing." And then you say, "Is it still good enough? Do they notice, or do I get away with it?" Like,
okay,
because it's not
so
guaranteed
what
that
is the...
you fail. It's just when you roll a success, there's no further conversation. You're like, "I have succeeded. We
Got
move
it.
on."
So what is the one thing that this isn't then? That's what I'm not understanding.
I think it's a case of I choose one from the list, which is
Yeah.
I've been practicing making this quick since I was a child,
Yeah.
and then you get to say if you catch me, like i.e. I'm not quick enough, or
Oh, I see. So you run out of here.
yeah, like,
Or
I think my plan is to be like pocket up my long robed sleeve like the good,
right.
and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm really sorry," like I'll leave and just try and like play it off like I'm one of them kind of thing.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Um,
That works. He thinks you're one of them. Yeah.
and then yeah, so I think the catch is like, does he still see me? Like, I think I'm quick enough. Like, I've been doing this since I was a kid. But does this ghoul like have a particular perception for like, oh, this is missing now? Like, I saw you do that.
No. I think you're way too slick.
Okay, cool. I think I'll slip it up my robe and then try and hold it in a way where it's not obvious. It's like a bulking object there. And
Does this trick have anything? Is this similar at all to the coin in the coffin trick?
oh, good question.
I don't know.
I mean, just technique wise.
Did you pick the same things?
I picked different things, so I don't think it is. I think it's a separate trick.
Cool.
Yeah.
Just curious. Awesome.
So Judd, am I facing a ghoul?
Yeah, I think you're facing a couple ghouls.
Oh, come on. All right. I think I'm just like exhausted. Like I sit up and I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing this. So like I pull myself to my feet and then I look at all the ghouls. What are they doing?
I think they were expecting to find like a mischievous ghoul.
Yeah, and I think I pull the hood back and it's pretty obvious I'm not one. What did they do?
Why are you wearing our robes, interloper?
I reach into my robes and I pull out a handful of ossuary coins and I say, "Today I was paid with this, and even though I'm not of your city, I deal with the dead and their problems, and I'm gonna proffer the coins to them for examination." And I say, "I came here to see who it is that's looting your graves or tombs or whatever, or who is stealing the coin that the dead are to use to pay the ferryman."
It could be that someone is stealing coin, or it could be that some plasmic entity foolishly thinks that you're some kind of powerful necromancer.
I mean, I am a powerful necromancer.
I think like they all kind of take a jump back at that. You're a powerful necromancer and you stole our robes?
I'm a powerful necromancer from a different city. I did not want to get into trouble here or try to... Okay, look, some necromancers use their powers to get other people to do stuff. I mostly just wanted to use my powers to try and solve your problem. I didn't want to get into a fight or an argument on whose rules it was that I was supposed to be stepping all over here.
In your city, your necromancers don't learn about the uh, what would it be called? Uh, the Hungry Alliance
No, for the
or the
most
Hungry?
part.
It's called the Hungry Treaty. The Hungry Treaty.
Do I know what a hungry treaty is?
I have no idea. Do you know what the Hungry Treaty? Did you learn about the treaty between ghouls and necromancers? Did you like? Were you around for
Of
that?
course, of course. I mean, I was actually really good at my studies. That's in the backstory. Vincent wrote that, not me. So like, I don't even have to make that up. That's just yes. Sure, yeah. I read books. What is the Hungry Treaty about, Judd?
Uh, it is the treaty between necromancers and ghouls that they will help one another when the dead are mistreated.
Oh, I see. I say, look, I was trying to uphold my end of the Hungry Treaty, and yeah, I guess I could have probably told you about it. That does seem rather shady, huh? Okay, I'm gonna take the probes off. Just filled them up nice.
And I think like you learned about the signing of the Hungry Treaty and like the dates, but like I don't think you had much
I've never invoked it.
instruction. What's that?
I've never invoked it.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually not a full-fledged I am not a full-fledged necromancer. I'm basically like a runaway apprentice, right? So like I probably
Right.
haven't had cause to know the appropriate rites or have done it or whatever.
Right.
All right. So yeah, I fold up the robe and I proffer it to them and I say, I'm sorry. I probably should have been more plain and more obvious about this, but I promise you that I am actually here to help. So if somebody has left this on my doorstep, would you be so kind as to tell me who it is that is possibly mistreating the dead?
Uh, yeah, I think they look at the coins and they know exactly where it's come from. And they lead you to that family's grave. It's a it is yeah, it's a family of sea captains, and
Oh, good.
someone someone stole the offerings off of the grave that was
How
left
did
there.
now I have to ask you, volunteer? How did the ghouls know which graves it is? Is it completely obfuscated to me? Is it part of their magical attunement to this area, or is it
Yeah,
like do they sniff the coins or taste them, or like somehow do the
yeah,
coins speak to them in some way? Like I
yeah.
that's
That's a good question. Um, I don't think you know how they. You don't immediately know uh, just yet.
okay.
Yeah, that is a trick that is unclear to you.
Cool.
And I think Morgan, you see Garen being led to some tombs by a bunch of ghouls.
But I don't look panicked. I'm not like in combat. I'm also not in manacles. You can yeah you can
Matter of fact, I think like Morgan's probably even chatting to the head ghoul about the Hungry Treaty.
Oh, did they mention like it's a necromancer or
I think they're just like you're chatting about like the history of it, you know. Uh, but yeah, what do you do, Morgan?
Oh, sorry. I was like totally hitting to chat for a second. What was
That's
what
okay.
was the sitch? Because
The sitch is that your necromancer friend is being led to a series of captain's tombs on the edge of the graveyard, and he appears to be chatting with the elder ghoul about some piece of history.
right. But I'm still like in the laundry area.
Yeah, or you're just walking out of it.
looking out of it, do I clock like what's going on, or do I have like a clue of like are people remembering like, oh, there's like a weird necromancer, or am I like in the dark about what's going on with my dearest friend?
Um,
I had a
they seem
suggestion. Oh, sorry.
they seem to be pretty affable. Like they seem to be pretty friendly.
Sweet.
Yeah, essentially, you saw me bolting for my life last time you saw me, and then by the time you steal everything and walk out of their little like tomb structure, you're walking out and you're like, I should probably check on my necromancer friend. And you see me just like chatting and walking along with a couple of ghouls towards like a set of tombs, and we're talking about the Hungering Treaty, where the necromancers and the ghouls have agreed to help each other if the dead are being desecrated or something.
Oh, cool. I guess I wouldn't want to ruin your vibe. Like, I don't want to like rock and off and like, hey, like, can I join like whatever thing you're doing? So, I think I'd probably try and follow from the shadows and just try and be there in case something goes wrong. And if things are fine, then we can meet up and it'll be golden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a scene in my mind for, I think Judd, you mentioned like, oh, dinner's not ready yet or something. And I was like, oh, it'll be kind of cute if like there's a ghoul dinner. And I'm like, oh.
Please do not cannibal.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think I'd like to try and follow from the shadows, like tree to tree, like duck behind tombstones and like sort of behind angel statues and things like that.
Awesome.
Which I think is the what move is this?
Is that the nimble one? The jumping one? Jump and chance to fall or whatever.
Yeah, this could be if it's like a physical thing, like just leaping and staying in the shadows and that kind of thing. It could be passing someone by, which is just like becoming a shadow and concealing oneself. It could. Yeah, I think it's probably one of those two. Yeah.
Do it.
Let's leap and defy.
Cool. So you're doing a treetop to treetop traversal.
Yeah, that sounds super rad as heck. Yeah, I think it's like getting up a tree and then like leaping to the next one. Like, yeah, perching atop an angel statue. Like, it looks super cool. So I'll roll a d6 and we'll see what happens. Oh, I did. How about that? Oh, sorry. I should have asked. I'm a ninja. I should have asked. I assumed I'd need to test my strength and stuff to see if I could do it. So I cut out using that process. But on a hit, I can choose as many as I like. So I think I can leap quickly enough and lightly enough and far enough from tree to tree. I think I can keep my balance, and I think I have the stamina and endurance to do this. Yeah.
Yep, you do. You totally do.
So yeah, I'll I got your back. I'm here in the shadows.
Awesome. I appreciate it. So Judd, if they take me to this tomb, I look about with my normal eyes. So let me ask you as a volunteer before I do any exertions. Is it obvious to me what is happening here, or do I need to exert myself? Because if the answer is only Necromancer sight will reveal clues, that's fine. I just need to know.
Yeah, I think Necromancer sight will reveal clues.
Great, let's do it. I'm gonna do it and see if it. So first I roll. No matter what the sight goes off, it's just a question of whether I'm exhausted afterwards. The answer is I'm exhausted afterwards, and then I'm going to look around. Oops. That works just fine. All right. So I open my additional pairs of eyes in the darkness. They glow with green energy, and I look about, and I'm looking for who or what may have actually looted these tombs. Where should I start?
So you're looking at it with your Necromancer sight,
correct?
And that gives you some kind of. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out what's the effect, what.
So effectively, when I open my necromantic senses, instead of asking about what my gut or my empathy tells me, I ask questions about what my necromantic senses reveal. They can directly perceive ghosts. They can additionally perceive as a shimmer or buzz any magical spells, energies, subtle emanations, active plasmids, things made invisible by magic, or any signs of wizardry. So I guess what I'm asking you is, do I do I perceive? So what you said was there is nothing physically obvious here as to what's happening. So my question is, great. What is invisibly here that is happening?
Mm. Yeah. Got it. Uh, cool. Yeah, I think you find like you would be able to see traces of the living, uh, or traces of the dead if they were stealing from them. But you see kind of something in between, and yeah, I think it's prints from ghouls, and you realize that it's ghouls who are stealing this stuff.
Is there so necromantic senses generally detect magical residue. Are the ghouls doing something untoward? Are they using the parts of these people for rituals? Are they or is it something that's wrong with these ghouls that's causing them to betray their function? Or is it the fact that they're betraying their function, and since the process for making ghouls also makes them guardians, is there some like curse residue because they're fighting against
Yeah,
their nature and their bindings or whatever?
yeah. I think it's a forgotten part of that ritual, that necromancers probably helped make, in that if they go against their their chosen vocations, it leaves a mark. It leaves a really bright mark that necromantic sight can see.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then I turn to the head ghoul, who hopefully does not have that mark on them. And what I say is, I say, um, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it seems like it is one of your people that is doing this. Now, I can't tell you which one from here, but what I can tell you is that going against your nature leaves a mark that I can see with my necromantic sight. So if you would bring your circle of ghouls together, whether it's for a meal or what else, I may walk among you and I will tell you which ones are marked as the ones that go against their purpose.
yeah,
Can I
awesome.
tell what they're doing? Like they're obviously robbing the coins because otherwise I wouldn't have any coins. But like, are they eating the dead? Are they doing something with the corpses? Are they like what are they doing to these
Yeah,
things?
I think it's really mundane. I think they're stealing offerings off of the graves and selling them.
Oh,
And the
what
coins
does a
that you
ghoul
got
want
weren't
money
actually
for?
the coal the coins you got weren't actually stolen. The coins you got were put into your bowl by plasmid entities who didn't want their
But the
shit stolen.
spirit that was whose grave was defiled.
Yeah,
I get it. All right, cool.
yeah.
Red. Uh, does the head ghoul agree to this, or do they ask anything else?
No, he says, this is right. We will gather for dinner, and you will point them out to me.
Okay. What does so dear volunteer? This is where I ask you about the world and what I see. My thief friend is probably in the rafters.
Yeah.
Um, but what does dinner amongst the ghouls look like?
Um,
Is there a great hall, big tables?
yeah, there totally is. It's right off the kitchen where Morgan was, got the oil. And yeah, it totally looks like um, a huge tomb, and the table looks like the table is made of marble, and they get to, I think they eat pretty normal, soup and gruel, but then like there's like a holy part where they get to eat a little bit of the dead.
Like a nibble for a treat.
A
Sorry,
nibble, yeah,
just a nibble.
a ghoul treat,
A ghoul treat. Yeah.
and
Okay.
and yeah, I think it's the two lackadaisical ghouls that you saw earlier who like yelled jokes at you.
They both have
Um,
marks.
they both have the marks on
So
them. Yeah,
I think I'm actually clever, maybe cunning. Oh no, I have a
yeah.
cunning of 0. Why am I doing a cunning plan? I'm a terrible person. Um, Maybe I'll redo my stats after. We'll see. I think I serve soup, and as they pass by, when the two pass by, I give the nod to the head ghoul. You know what? No, I'm gonna play to my stats right. Well, no, we're doing this. I give the nod to the head ghoul, and I see what happens. I was gonna say, if I'm bold, I should probably be like, ah, and then be like, oh no. Maybe that's what I do. Maybe I should be the clever necromancer. Maybe I should let the ghouls handle this internally. But I think I set down the bowl and I look at them and I say, how dare you go against your purpose? How dare you go against your bindings? And I pull back my hood so that it's obvious that I'm not, one of them.
Yeah. And I think the head ghoul says there have been thefts from tombs, stolen for their own profit, and like ghouls are just gasping and crying and
what do the lackadaisical ones do? And am I in danger? That's all.
Yeah, they're definitely panicking. And he says, I think the elder ghoul turns to you and says, "Thank you, Necromancer. We will contact you before you leave Ruby to offer our thanks. But the rites that will set this back to balance are private, among the ghouls only."
I'm cool with that. Thief, are we just gonna book it now? Are we good?
Or so. Thief, Morgan, they don't know you're here. So if you want to watch the sacred ghoul punishment rites, you can watch from the rafters if you want.
Would that be interesting to you, dear necromancer friend?
Oh, I can't. I don't have your stealth. I'm gonna have to be outside.
Oh yeah,
I can be nearby, but I can't be in there.
Would me absorbing this information be useful?
Oh, probably not. You? They can handle this. I think I'll.
Yeah, I'm okay to give them their privacy.
Oh, cool, love it.
I'm going to tell the head ghoul that the price. I'm going to tell the head ghoul the price for my services, which is I would love someone's casket, winding shroud, or a funerary urn that's used but emptied. So that's fine. I don't need a person inside it. Just the urn. So yeah. Those any of those things or all three things would be very useful.
Cool. I think they definitely bring you the urn. I think that's what they
Great.
get you.
I get an urn.
Cool.
And I have tons of oil, embalming oil. Yes, excellent. I might be able to practice stuff before next time. All right. I'm good. Thief, it's up to you. Do you want to watch Secrets, or do you want to? Do we just call this a win?
I'm going to give them their privacy. Who knows what cosmic horrors might enter my brain if I hang around? So, I'm good to book it, unless it will be useful to you. It sounds like it's not, so I'm okay to leave.
All right. Yeah. So maybe that's
awesome.
that's the end of our adventure for this time.
That works.
All right, cool. So how are people feeling? It is 10:30, or it's 10:30 here. It's after midnight at Judd's. So do we call it here for the night and
I'm good to stop.
Okay. Yeah, we sort of close down on us escaping the graveyard area with that ominous ruby eye spinning in the background and our silhouettes as we cross the graveyard lawn. And yeah, I'm excited for next time.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. We might be in the same city. We might be in a different city. We'll see. We'll pick out some initializers. It'll be fun. All right, cool. So that was kind of a blast. I'm actually starting to get the flow of all of my moves now. So I have the rhythm. I have the patter.
Same.
That was dope. Thank you, chat, for hanging with us and giving us a bunch of awesome suggestions. I had salt from last time. Somebody in chat was like, maybe ghouls are scared of salt. And I was like, I'm prepared. I'm going to have to fight these ghouls. And Judd's like, no, they're perfectly reasonable. And have a conversation about treaties with you. But I was ready. So thank you, chat, for giving us cool idea and hanging with us. I hear a rumor that we may have a guest second volunteer next time. So that might be a thing in 2 weeks. Keep your ears and eyes peeled, and we'll sort that out. So I guess we're doing outros. So let's just go through it. Hey, I've been Strash, he, him. You can find me on the internets at Strash A. I'm one of the regular streamers here on Actual Play. You can catch me tomorrow morning. I'm running a Scum and Villainy game for a bounty hunting crew, and they're actually involved in high scale politics and dealing with tier 4 factions. It's kind of wild. So yeah, all right. That's happening tomorrow morning, and I am playing with Lauren, who can tell you a little bit about Dipper, who's our Urbot, and yeah, catch us back here in 2 weeks probably. I'll double check with my friends here with our calendars and whatnot, but expect 2 weeks for more Thiefy and Necromancy goodness, and we'll see where our adventures take us and how stuff goes. So, Lauren, take it away with outros.
Yeah, hi, I've been Lauren. I use Shide, and I'm at the Stray Kiwi on Twitter and everywhere else on the internet. I have thestraykiwi.com if you want to know more about my games and stuff that I do. I want to be really doggy and say just thank you so much to chat for like being cool and giving amazing ideas. And I love the collaborative dimension to this game and seeing everyone's ideas pulled together, because I think community and togetherness is the thing I've really been needing in my life with all the isolation going on and stuff. So thank you so much, everyone, for doing your thing. And I'm getting emotional, but anyway, yes, Dipper. I'll be at Ability tomorrow morning. My character is an Urbot who has 2 cores and maybe an ancient robot. I'm not sure. They grapple a lot with I don't know, like existential crises as you do as a robot, who they are, where they've been, and that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to some fun feels. And so yeah, I think that's cool what I'm doing now. How about you, Judd?
Hey, I'm Judd, he, him. I'll be around. I've got a podcast called Daydreaming About Dragons. I played last night too with Sean on this channel. We played some Burning Wheel. Got back to our game about Bina Janos and the oncoming war between dwarves and elves, which was really fun. And so we should be back to that in a couple weeks, I hope. And that's about it. It was fun. That was neat.
All right. Many thanks, folks, for hanging out with us. We'll see you again
Thanks,
in 2
chat.
weeks.
You were a big help.
And that's it for today. Adios.